The views expressed in the interviews and commentary are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of PPS Holdings Trust, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or employees. So welcome back.
Thank you.
What about insurance as a deal breaker? If you don't have insurance and you're with a partner, ne? And I mean, if you have a partner and your partner doesn't have insurance, is that a deal breaker for you? Let's go in.
Okay, so interesting question. Now, when it comes to my partner, right? The thing is, okay, great. We gone into this relationship, etc. Coming out from my experience, etc. Through university, and obviously we weren't working. We were studying, etc. So we didn't have that sort of thing set up just yet.
Yeah.
Didn't have funds for it just yet, right? But it's finances. There's no like perfection to it. It's a journey that you're on. So whether or not you guys have, or whether or not you guys don't have, you guys need to sit down and speak about why is it important for you guys to have insurance. It's not literally about you, but it's about the mere fact that I care for you, hence why I'm taking out X, Y, and Z. That's where it comes down to.
Absolutely.
And if I love my partner enough, I will definitely take that stance to ensure that she's okay. Likewise on her side as well. So hence why I started the conversation off with, you need to have that discussion, that sit down. And I mean, if you're not willing to see that part also, then it starts raising eyebrows in regards to, do you actually care for me in that aspect?
Absolutely.
And with like things like medical aid, if you have a partner and they're with you and they fall sick
Yes.
and they don't have medical aid, would you go into your personal savings to help them pay for their illness? Are you willing to make those kinds of decisions?
I'm the type that would. For me, it's not a deal breaker.
But is it fair?
It's not fair. But a lot of things in relationships are not fair, because if you look at it, a relationship is about balancing dynamics. And there's things that I'm good at a jump of a hat. I don't even have to wake up and crack my head thinking about this thing. Excuse me, I can just do it. And for him, there's things that he takes care of too. So when it comes to insurance and things like these, this is where we merge two worlds and make each other understand why it's important, so that I don't have to keep dipping into my savings. Then we have to have more serious conversations on ways forward. I'm all about planning for the future. I'm all about being proactive about things, especially things that I know are coming. So it's very, very important to have the conversations. You did say have the conversations. Financial conversations are very difficult to have, because we want to keep things safe every time. We feel like we're rattling the cage a lot when we want to talk about, why don't you have, but you fall sick every time. That's not the case. So what am I doing to make sure that this doesn't fall on me so hard? What conversation can I have with you to say, in the next time that you fall sick, at least we're fine? And it's either on both of us. Whatever we decide has to be from the both of us decided.
Can I just play a little bit of devil's advocate as well?
Please.
But the question that I wanted to ask is, okay, great. You guys had a discussion maybe initially, and it turned out that she didn't maybe want to comply, etc. And she falls ill or something happens then, right? Now it comes to a point where, okay, cool, now I need to dip into my savings. However, you didn't want to take that responsibility to do that, right? Fine, I'm dipping into my savings now.
Right.
Second time around happens. Same principle. They're not learning from what they are doing.
Right.
However, you just keep on dipping into your savings the whole time. Now, would you then consider that as a possible deal breaker?
It is, because these are values. As much as we're talking very small things, it goes beyond what we think. These are things that can actually fracture a relationship, a long-term relationship, if we're being honest. And so taking care of the both of us, taking care of myself, because I come with this value and this principle and I share it with you. I'm not coming to impose it on you. I'm coming to share the space with you. But if I feel like you're not valuing what I'm sharing with you, then I have to take steps to protect myself. Then you can go and take care of yourself whenever you're sick, because then I won't feel bad. We would have spoken about it, and you would have known how I feel about it. And this is where the conversations come into play, because I'm not going to remind you that we had this discussion 2 weeks ago. You're sick again. You should have known that it's going to get here, and you should have done something, you know? So at some point, we need to stop being lovey-dovey and actually be, we adults.
Timber.
You are sick and you are old and you didn't want to take up medical aid. Now we're here. You're an adult.
Timber and Chipa are having big feelings on their faces.
Like,
Big feelings on their faces.
I've been quiet because it started becoming a conversation between you two, because for me it's very personal. So I'm like, listen.
Very
That's
personal.
why I'm like, no, because it hits home. Because what you say, it is a deal breaker at the end of the day for me. Because it's not even about conversation, guys. Like, you can have conversation multiple times over and over. If somebody doesn't, it impacts your pocket at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right.
Implement.
And it's about educating them, and also, besides the conversation, are you helping that person to also get there? And the reason why I say it's personal is because it's a simple thing with my wife and I. Every time that we drive, and this is before I got into employment, when I was self-employed, there are other options besides medical aid. There's hospital plans, there's other things that you can get that can actually help you, that you can get into in terms of being protected if anything happens. It's not about being sick as well. My wife always says to me, if we get into an accident today and they send these choppers and all these other things, they pick us up, they'll send us to a private hospital and you are going to go to a public hospital, and she makes it as a joke.
And it's real.
But at the end of the day, and we're not taking shots at any public hospitals, we do know that most of them are overpopulated and everything else. And if you don't have money to pay for a private institution, they'll definitely get you stable and then move you over to where you can afford to. So the reason why I say it's personal is because at that point, I knew very well that the decision was not whether or not I want to. I'm not going to put it on her to say that it was a deal breaker for me to say that she's right. If something were to happen to me and the burden of her paying, or it's not just about going to the doctor day to day, guys. It's something that you can even go to a chemist and you get stuff. But it's when major things happen and you have to be in hospital for 30 days. Then it's not about tapping into savings, no matter how much savings you have.
Hey.
I'm telling you, if you stay in hospital, they start charging you for cotton holes, and then you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So
like for me, I'm with you there. I think because I'm also in a permanent relationship. So what? Yeah,
What is a permanent relationship?
it's forever.
You're gonna live.
I chose that
You must
word
be
for
in
a
a box.
reason.
You live
Yeah,
with them.
you know what I mean. I chose that word for permanence.
Yeah.
Because one thing I realized, the term that you used was partner, right?
Yes.
And there's something that I realized in relationships. And I was telling CP, we work together. So there was a thing where in life, there are people who, if you're a good person, they like using your goodness for their advantage, right? And one thing I've realized in relationships, I think the most important thing is, when do you establish that this is my partner, right? Is this my long-term person that I'm with? And once you make the decision, hence I used permanent. Permanence is, it doesn't care about how you feel, right?
It's a commitment.
It's a constant, exactly. So when you make a decision to take a partner, whether female or male or or the same sex, in obviously the world we live in now, what I've realized is, I think what we miss is, you cannot expect another person to be perfect. In the sense that I'm not trying to make excuses for people, right? But there's certain things that people struggle with. It could be historical, genetic. It could be where they're from. It could be how they've been brought up. So some people financially, they are not good, right? Like for me, I work in a financial institution, but when my money, right, I work. But when the money comes in, I'm really bad. And not that I don't have the knowledge. I have mostly knowledge that most people don't have, but the execution part, right? And my lady doesn't have that knowledge, but she knows how to use the money. So so for me, it's like, yes, it's conversations, and secondly, it's understanding the person that you're with.
Right.
Do you really know them, or you guessing who they are? Because if somebody you know their strong points, you know their weak points. So you can't hold somebody against their weak points. I mean, they are not good in that aspect.
Yeah.
That's for me, right? So I feel like grace in some instance, I know money is a big topic, right? But grace in some instance, because anything can break a relationship, especially finance, and even with divorce rates. The main concern is is finances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think grace, understanding the person that you are, is this person that you see. Because when you take the vows, right, they tell you sickness, health, da 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 da. I think that's where we miss it. Are you ready for sickness, health, and what? Because I can start off as a millionaire, and like you were saying, I become disabled. I have insurance, but then the insurance is now gone because I was been in hospital maybe for 5 years. I'm incapacitated. So what must happen now? I did everything correct, but now I'm in a position where you must now fill the fall. So are you gonna cut me out because of life? That's for me. And it could have been induced. I could be a bad driver, right? I speed up, but life just happened. Yeah.
So there is an episode on a reality show where it's a wealthy individual fell sick, didn't have medical aid, and then you know the wives
Had to.
was stressed and they had to come and chip in and stuff. And for me, it's like, onto your point, right? I've always, I say this a lot, like when it comes to money, as a couple, it doesn't matter when the relationship you are, just accept you're not the experts, consult with an expert, right? Because also it removes that extra
Yes.
burden and pressure on you, right? Put it onto that expert to talk to your partner, to educate your partner, yourself, both of you guys, right? So now it's not a thing of I'm putting pressure on you.
It's not a lecturing
you-
thing. It's not
yeah.
a resentment thing that, oh, there we go again.
You know,
Oh,
I told you
oh,
so.
here we go.
I said, remember, I told you so. You know,
like that,
so
actually.
that's the first thing, and I think we have to educate more people and talk to people about, hey, listen, just go and see this expert, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing for me, I've seen flames personally with medical aids and life insurance, but I believe that it's the most loving thing you can do for an individual, right? Because the question is, if you have children, for example, right, or the couple, both of you guys, would you really want to put your family, your partner, your children in a situation where, God forbid, if anything happens, you're permanently incapacitated, they have to take care of you, right? They can't afford the medication, right? They can't afford to hire a nanny to take care of you because I have to go to work, right? Is that really what you want to put your family through? So if you could maybe just switch, like the narrative and say, this is actually, I love you so much that I want you to be taken care of and not to have the burden of taking care
So
of
I'm willing
me.
to do this.
If anything happens to me, as things are in the habit of happening, Murphy's Law, right? So for me personally, that was my experience. Like whatever that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
When I had the medical aid, nothing happened.
Yeah.
3 days shy of
Cancellation.
of activation,
Okay.
I got injured. But thank God I had savings. So now I was paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, okay, so if I'm in this position and I imagine myself not having anything, right? Now I have to look to who? To my partner, right? And it's gonna put added pressure and
Yeah.
so
Not good for the relationship.
yeah.
It's not.
So
So it's
that's
a
how we
deal breaker. What
lose
we saying is
people.
that
It's
it's
a-
a-
it is a
Basically,
deal
we
breaker.
are pointing
Actually,
down to the
that's
fact
what I
that it's a
wanted to
deal
say.
breaker.
Right,
Like,
okay.
it's a deal
So
breaker.
on that note, on that note, did we cover everything about whether or not being uninsured is a deal breaker?
Yes.
We did.
100%.
That's a definite
Beautiful.
yes for that one.
26, there's no excuse.
Not true.
There
Thank
ain't no
you.
excuse.
Thank you guys.